Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Truthcast. Got you ready?
Ready for the name. This book was not our norm, really. It's more of a novel. But then, and it's more of a novel, and we weren't as excited.
I was.
You were?
I was.
Me, I was like, what?
My concern was, I don't know if this is a chopper, but my concern was, mwenye alisuggested book, anajua hata what is inside the
about.
book, what it is about really. Because this is unlike us, you
It's
get. Normally we wouldn't, I think we tulipenda too how the cover looks, and the topic were like, it ends with us, wow. You know, and all that. But I actually found out the writer is very famous. People love her books, Colleen Hoover. I didn't know. I showed the book to someone and the person was like, oh, she's very famous. I've read a couple of her books.
Same thing. When I posted that this is our month read, someone was like, yeah, I like her books. Also, same reaction actually.
So najulikana. When I started reading it, I liked it. My concern was, what will the rest of you think?
Now for me, when I started, I was struggling.
Yeah.
So, number one, okay, no, I'm not a racist, guys. Let me explain myself. I was just like, she's white. And then, white, they have a way to portray, the West. There's nothing much to relate to the West. So I felt like they're taking me to a whole
New
different,
world.
and then it's a novel. And then, the last time I read novels as of such, ni high school. So I was like, I felt like I was going back to high school.
I've never read a novel. Maybe that's why I was excited.
Sisi, hata sisi zamani gani yote kuna soma my church people were I remember I used to have a date called Daisy. So Daisy was good in getting the books. Yeah, she would have the books. Now, Mimi, I would...
You're the reader.
Not the reader, we would...
Exchange.
Like, I would read this week, next week, you get. And nakumbuka time, like one of our biggest fights in school was because of a book.
What?
Like we didn't speak to each other for 2 days, and then later we were like, bro, what was all this nonsense about? So those are the days I was reading novels, and those novels, ni zile za kuamsha nywele.
Unachemka.
Hiyo part. Ulisema hii part. Sasa tunaanza kuchambua. So I felt like reading this book is taking me back to something that I have outgrown. So in the beginning, I struggled. I was like, hey, that's true, and then what? And then they moved. Really. I was like, that was amazing.
I thought it was a very simple book, easy to read. I think nilikuwa na assuming novels are hard to read, complicated, twists and turns, what. I liked its simplicity, and I liked the fact that the person who was being Lily here, the character, alikuwa mtu wa kujournal. I was relating to that.
You related to that?
Yeah.
Nice. Me when I saw I was cringing.
Why?
I was like, hey, dear, hey.
Yeah.
You guys have time for us. Dear.
Yeah.
But then it was a beautiful thing on how she was journaling. So my first question, since we have discussed
first impression.
Yeah, of the book, and you have said your outlook was you like how the simplicity of the writer and all of these things.
Should we tell them what it's about first for the ones who don't know?
Yeah.
Chani yekevi mwone how pretty it is. I also love the color, the butterflies and all. Kidogo niende ninunue glitter into stones nieke around.
That's the type of person she is.
She wants
to better the work of the writer. It's not enough.
Need some glitter. Yeah.
For me, I love the name. It ends with us. It's such a captivating. It ends with us. It comes with a certain heaviness.
I think that's why maybe mwenye alichagua hii book alichagua.
Yeah, because it's not an outright novel.
Yes.
You might think this is actually even a self-help.
Yes, true.
It's not an outright novel. And I think that was a very brilliant selling point.
So the book is about a lady called Lily. She's torn in between two men. Yeah, acha niiseme hivyo. Ndo ni create suspense wende ununue. Yeah, she's torn in between two men. Both men love her. And both situations hurt her in some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we're going to talk about, or rather I'd like us to talk about this book is, do you relate with any character? Like,
do I relate with any character?
To the rich?
From Lily's mom?
Yeah, like from the mother, like any character. Is it Lily's mother? Is it Lily? Is it, he's called Ryle, the boyfriend?
Ryle, yes. There's Atlas. Oh,
There's
Atlas. I wish Atlas was real.
There was the mom, there was the Ryle's sister and husband.
Alisa and Marshall.
Yeah, yeah. Is there any character you feel like you related in this book?
Lily.
Really? And how?
How her parents used to fight. Sindio. I experienced my mom and dad fighting.
Oh, when I was talking about it later, I thought to you, but I hear you.
Yeah, to me too, because I can see in my personal life.
No outside that. No, but then answer it.
Okay, I just niendelee too. Yeah. Because I witnessed my mom and dad getting physical. Sometimes when you think you can defend your mom, unaingia katikati uko pia wewe nakukuta
anakuchota nayo.
Anakuchota nayo, you know.
Yeah.
So when she described how she felt about her parents' relationship, nilikuwa na agree. I was nodding in most of the areas. I was like, yeah, I feel you, I get you when you think like that.
Yeah.
So those are the areas where I relate with her. And also later, there's a part after sasa Ryle amemcharaza sasa ile hadi alimuuma huko. Meno imeingia, amempiga hedi. Oh my God. Sikuwa naamini, amempiga hedi, blackout, and she's journaling. She starts journaling again, and she's writing to Ellen. Ni Ellen ama Ellen?
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, she's writing to Ellen DeGeneres. So she when she's journaling, she journals to. She talks as if anamuongelesha because that's her best, whatever celebrity.
Yeah.
So she directs the writing to her. So now she's in Atlas's house. Atlas is the other man, and she's now writing again. And she's like, all along she has been more, let me say, looking down upon her mom, because her mom chose to stay in such a marriage, and other women who choose to stay in relationships where they're not treated fairly. And now she was thinking to herself, wow, the same thing I used to think about these people, the same thing I used to say about these people, this is now me.
Yeah.
You get, and someone else is thinking that about me and saying that about me. But now that I'm in this place, I understand my mom and other women. You get? Yeah, so sometimes things happen and unakumbuka, ulidharau mtu fulani because they were dealing with a situation in a certain way. But now when it's you in that situation, you're probably dealing with it even worse than they were dealing with it, you get? Or doing the same thing they were doing.
It's not even from a point of kumdharau mse. For me, rather, I relate with Lily because I relate with Lily with matters the familiar dynamics that she was living in, and it's not even from a point of can never be me. Really, it's I would never allow myself to be in such a space, and then you come and you don't put into fact, and you know those things you're saying it out of. You have seen these people be hurt, you know, and you're saying that. It's to affirm yourself that you would not allow yourself to be hurt like this. You know, you would not allow yourself to be in such spaces. And then you're learning and all, and you never look at it with the whole perspective of you love this person. You know, you probably even have kids with this person.
The excuses she was making were even making sense.
Exactly what I'm saying. And then, hata sijui niseme nini. Like it's you forget that it's not just never allowing yourself to be in that space. It's you didn't think about what this person is to you in that moment. You know, at that time you're like, I will choose myself regardless. But then it happens, you're stuck in the limbo of how can this person do this to me? And sometimes women live in that limbo for so long, they don't even realize that they have been like. By the time you know, you open your eyes to make a decision, it's 10 years. And this has been happening to you over
and over and over.
And you are stuck in that, like now in this book, the main character, her name is Lily. Her parents used to fight,
Seriously.
fight. Like
There's one time she witnessed the dad almost
trying to
rape the
mother.
mom.
And those things are brutal. However, this mom stayed. In fact, she went to Lily now, and told her,
Not
don't
to call the police.
because he didn't even do it.
In fact, I'm the one who
You
provoked
understand?
him.
Yeah, and these are the things that she's saying, and you're like, how messed up.
And she
are
was
you
saying
in
the same
head?
things to herself now when Ryle was doing the same
And then
things.
it wasn't even the same things, babe. It was how, in this situation, she was like, Ryle apologizes. My father never used to apologize.
So this one is
he's
better.
not the same person.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh.
yeah. Hey. You unasema can never be me in Jesus' name, blood of Jesus. Mother of Mary. Go invoke the whole heavens.
Do you know the first time it was just a push, and then she slipped, and then she hit her head.
Yeah.
What happened? When she laughed, see, the glasses broke, alafu akajiumiza mkono.
Yeah, alijichoma.
And then alijichoma, alijichoma.
Yeah.
And then she laughed.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was expecting the next sentence to be, he also laughed.
Same. Me, I was so shocked.
And then the next sentence is, kidogo kidogo haoni, kidogo kidogo anasikia she's bleeding. Hata yeye mwenyewe ajua. Ajua alifika kwa floor aje. And I was like,
I remember when I was reading this book, Maggie, I think I had a lot of self-reflections. Because I've been in the spaces where I've had conversations with myself, or rather I've been in spaces where I have seen people go through abuse in various forms, and I have told myself,
I will not allow
myself for that to happen to me. And then when reading this book, I realized how Lily and I were not as far. Because now the pushing thing, in my head I was like, probably it's a mistake. I was like, probably he was mad. But those are things that live with you, even. You get, because I remember now after that bit, Lily started really not questioning per se,
she was
but now
cautious.
Exactly, because you don't know what this guy can do next. You understand? Hey. And I was like, the bit that now she started, now when Ryle, now the boyfriend, akaanza sasa hata kungoje wewe upeane hiyo excuse. Yeye ndo anakusemea.
Hiyo ndo akaribie kumrape?
No, that one is even far. Like the first one when they were meeting the mom.
Yeah.
The mom asked what happened, and the guy had already explained, there was a lot of olive oil on the floor. And you went ahead to give the excuse for me. Now
there's where you saw the problem.
Now for me, I was like, that is outright manipulation. And that's why you're with someone who, if it was an honest mistake, when he said apologize, I was like, probably he was angry. And because I've been in spaces where I'm also laughing about things that are not as serious. Not that that has ever happened to me, but I'm saying I'm the kind that laughs about everything. Even in serious situations. Now in this situation, this guy had to go for a surgery the next. He's a surgeon.
You understand his stress.
He was stressed and anxious, but which is not right. But then now when he did what he did, akaona. Apologize. He even stopped caring about his hand now. He's caring about you. Probably it was just anger. But then now when I was like, when he took it upon himself to lie and the need to lie. Because if it was an honest mistake, it's an honest mistake.
Yeah.
You're not scared to say that this is not what I meant it to be. But now you're already taking it up upon yourself to say that we were cooking and then there was olive oil on the ground, and then she fell. There is the problem. You get?
Yeah.
There is the problem.
Where I felt like he was, Mimi, I was like, this is outright manipulation, was after, I think the second time, what happened the second time?
The second time, I think they had argued.
Alimpush kwa stairs.
Imagine.
My people. After ampush kwa stairs, he doesn't say so. Okay, he said sorry, but he was like, you fell. Akukubali alimpush. Because she fell down the stairs, alimpush na aka blackout. So when she woke up, he was like, I'm so sorry you fell.
Imagine.
In the house, not hospital. Alikuwa tu kwa bed yake. She went to the hospital later, I guess.
Oh, and she woke up and this nigga was asleep.
Ati you fell. Oh God. Alafu, later during the day, he comes back akilia na story ya sijui how he killed the brother.
Me, I was like, that is outright manipulation.
And the girl cries with him,
that is outright
hugs him, and she's feeling bad for him.
And it's even how, for me.
Because I didn't see how the brother's story is sad, because when he was 6 years, he shot the brother by mistake, and the brother died. Fine, that is traumatic enough. But I don't see how this is related to how you pushed me down the stairs.
For me, I was like, how is it related to the fact that you have anger issues?
And the drama I can get how it's related to his anger issues. But why are you bringing it up after ulini push kwa stairs? Just come say sorry and bring it up later. It's like it was it's like he was saying to me, I pushed you down the stairs because I shot my brother when I was young.
And that is what he was saying. Outrightly for me, that is what he was saying. Is that, you see why I hit you last time?
Because I pushed you, because I shot
because of my brother.
And I'm like,
was I there with your brother? I wasn't there with your brother. You get? And for me, having this conversation of, the reason why I hit you the first time and I pushed you down the stairs the second time is because, when I get angry, I do things.
I just do things.
So let's figure out a way how. Let's figure out a way how we can help me so that I don't beat you. As in, these things are not making sense in my head.
That's why when you're telling me that you feel like this girl met the boy in a season where he has not completely healed, I make sense kwangu.
So
because he sounds like a mad person.
So I was telling Maggie, this relationship to me I think it would have worked. However, they met each other at very wrong times. And this is what I mean. This guy came in and said, the reason as to why I hit you, the reason as to why I have these anger issues, all this built up anger, is because of this traumatic experience that happened to me, yeah? And I killed my brother, blah, blah, blah. We never got to heal. He has anger issues with his parents because why do you leave a gun like that carelessly? You get, he's still doing the blame game. And I hear him, very valid. But I think he's still doing the blame game. So he's far out from the healing process.
Yes. Yeah.
So for me, I felt like this relationship would have worked because I honestly truly believe that the guy loves this girl. However, walipatana at the wrong time. And the wrong time is what? This guy has not dealt with his issues. He has not sat down and decided that I want to work on this. Because he has sat down and he knows this is a problem. I'm sure this is not the first babe he has hit. You understand? Or this is not the first outburst.
Hata nashuku, I thought at some point the writer would bring it out that maybe the family and the sister know that he hits women. Maybe that's why they were shocked.
I think probably not. I think probably they have seen how he has anger and they can see how that can. I don't think and how I've read this book, or rather in my view, I don't think they know that he can hit a woman. I mean that he has hit a woman, but they know he can. Because of the outbursts that he has. So for me, I'm like, you're already aware that you have a problem. And it's not, I'm sure it is not the first time you're hitting someone or having this anger. And when you hit a man, it's a different situation. They're like, it's just testosterone, wanatoa, nini. But when you're hitting a babe, there's something wrong in your head. And I'm sure he has hit a babe. So if he did it at that time, why didn't he tell himself, this is a problem. Probably I don't even love this girl like that to want to change for her. Fine. But you as a human being, why didn't you see it as a need to go to therapy and be like, I have this problem and I don't want to ever do this again? Because as much as you don't love this girl, huu ni mtoto wa mtu. You understand?
Yeah. But if there are people who are comfortable with, I know I have a problem and that's it.
And that is why I'm saying, I feel like these guys loved each other. And that this relationship would have prospered if
he worked on
himself. He had healed. Angempata kama he is a healed version of himself.
Because to introduce her to this guy, you
were
like,
kijana ameweza.
I know. He had hit all the...
Yeah. I was like, this guy is too perfect. kwa coffee tu hivi.
Na venye alikuwa amedescribe hizo muscles. Sasa imagine hizo ndo muscles zinakugonga.
I know. I see you na yeye anafanya surgery.
Yeye ndo surgeon huko. But I feel this book really opens us up to the mind of an abused woman.
Exactly. That's why now I really
the thought process of because why do women keep going back?
Exactly.
Mtu amekucharaza, umeona kifo, hadi ushakubali unakufa.
Nyumba na sura.
Ukishapona unarudi. Ukishapona unarudi. Yeah, it opens you up to the mind of abused women.
Yes.
You know, why they stay, their thought process.
Yes.
And I can now empathize with them.
Exactly.
The same way now she was empathizing with her mother.
Exactly. And then when she was in the book, she was saying how she saw her mother in a different light. Like before, she would be like, "Why would you stay with this man? Why would you need?" Because she was saying even on the father died, guys. In the book, the father died, and
the father died. Let's just talk about the obituary she gave the father.
Nothing.
This was it. So I'm Lily. I've been called up on stage to talk about my dead father. So I think something in the lines of
5 things that I can say about 5 good things about my father.
Yeah, so this is 5 good things about my father.
Number 1.
Yeah, number 1.
Ukanyamaza. And it's not, and then...
and she stayed there for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, the mama can figure out what she's doing. Oh, we get.
So what she was doing is, there was
nothing. Yeah, there was nothing she could say about her father.
That she was proud of.
Oh, God.
And for me, I was like, I hear this girl. And then, you know, it's how when, as you have said, this book was opening us up to the mind of an abused woman, an abusive relationship, and how it works. I understood why people do what they do and why women stay. I still don't advocate for it. Yeah. Don't stay. But now I hear you way better. I hear you way better than before. Yeah. You know, and then I realized the thing is this. Now, like in my perspective, without giving in too many details, like you would know. Actually, to equate to personal.
Yeah, for now.
For me, is I never got to hear the person that I've seen, whatever, go through this. I never got to hear their point of view. I just got to see the things that they're going through. But, you know, I was too young for them to talk to me about it. You understand? Now this book
helps you, yeah, their point of view.
You know, like I was having a duality of things. I could see, this is what unatandikwa hivi, and then I could hear, this is what is going on in your head and in your heart. You get? With the reality of the experience, I was just seeing. So I was out in anger, I was out in all these things in heart, but I've not had the whole thing presented to me. You understand? So, seeing this book, reading this book, I really empathize with women who are going through violence of any kind or abuse of any kind. Because it's like, even it's not even, can you imagine seeing such, like this girl's not enough. She saw her mom her dad trying to rape her. You'd never see your father the same ever again after that. You know, and then this thing happened.
And you know, as the dad is trying to rape the mom is actually yielding and saying, at least, come on and rape, fanya pole pole, mtoto asisikie.
Me, that one I was
sick. That broke my heart. And she's like, fine, I'll do what you want. Just... yeah, she was literally yielding.
Hey, that was too beautiful.
You know, when she was explaining, you know, after now when the worst fight now for Lily now, it was after Ryle reads her journals. Her journals is imejatu jina za Atlas. They're like, and then she was questioned about the magnet kwa fridge yenye alipewa na Atlas years ago. She has kept it. Yeah. She was sitting to herself and she was thinking, probably I shouldn't have kept those journals. Yeah. Probably I shouldn't have kept the magnet because it's evidence I haven't moved on from Atlas. Yeah. You know, probably from the word go I should have told Ryle about Atlas. Yeah. So if I wouldn't have done these things, probably hata singechapwa venye nimechapwa.
Yeah. I think that it would have been a discussion that she had, or rather a conversation, not a discussion, that she had with Ryle. Because the only thing that she had touched based on. So guys, there's another guy called Atlas in this book. And now this guy
was Lily's first love when they were teenagers.
So they really grew up together and then now they parted ways. So there was really that emotional
attachment, but there was really nothing.
There was not that a relationship.
Which makes me feel like Ryle is just insecure, Pia. Because really, you found my journals fine. You found that. You found he said this in the newspaper. But I'm in the house with you. So why are you bothered? I'm not in the house with him. I'm in the house with you. And according to my journals, hata wewe unapoona hizo dates, ni za miaka nenda. You get?
Babe, I was thinking about it. If it was you.
If I was Ryle.
You're finding... no, it was the other way around. You're finding your partner with journals of a babe kitambo. You know, if it is a journal that has multiple babes, you'd be like, you get.
You know, if the dates were recent, I'd be bothered.
No,
isn't it dates akiwa teenager and all? I'd even laugh at you or something. I'd even make fun of it. So. Really?
So if it is of more to put a journal, in ameandika, Amy, Sylvia, Grace, utaona na ulikuwa na umewasibamisha line, you know that it will be in light. But of one girl, Sylvia, day 1. Sylvia day 2. Day 3, day 4.
But you see, you wrote those things when you were 15. I have met you when you were 25.
Hear me out. Now, they have crossed paths. This person has amesoma gazeti, babe. This person is making light of they have something that they say to each other that they are now saying. That only
wow, wanajua.
Babe, that is a threat. And I'm not saying that it will be something that will be unsettled, because the number one question is, have you really gotten over this person, or this person is going to be a problem?
Okay.
And plus, you have never really had a conversation of this person was this to me. So I don't know really what this person means to you. We have not had that conversation. These guys had never had that conversation. The only conversation they had is that this person in this book, they have slept together. And that is kitambo. That was the only thing.
And he thought it was because out of pity.
Exactly. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you coming to see a journal that has constantly the name Atlas.
But we sit down and we talk about it, and I ask you, are you sure you've gotten over this person?
But this person, they didn't do it, but they didn't do it. No, Sema, for me, there was need to have that conversation, because this is someone you have an emotional time with. That has not been addressed. And this guy, instead of taking this to seeing these things as a way of having conversation,
alianza vita. And this guy is a psychopath. Let me tell you, when you read this book, the way he went about that conversation.
I was scared. I was scared for her life, and she's not even a real human.
Akiwa kwa counter, when he had the...
I knew anamuua. Ni wanajua huyo atamuua.
Mimi nilikuwa najua atamripia hapo, alafu amuue.
Mimi nilikuwa najua atamuua. Kwanza the biting, I knew this is over. Hii imeenda. Nini maiti wanakujia.
But I told you before we started the show, I was telling Tiffany, I think Ryle was obsessed with Lily. My reason is, when they got to bed, they are still fighting about the journals and Atlas and all that. He said he pinned her down and he was like, probably I've not been showing you how much I love you. So, I know, so he was like, it seems like, and he seemed to in his head, that was the complete honesty. He thought he was making sense.
And that is the problem.
Sindo nakwambia, this is a psycho.
Because in him, complete honesty is to kill you.
And
that is the problem.
And you see, that is what obsession does to people. So he's like, I think I'm pinned down. I think I've not been showing you how much I love you. So he thinks when I rape you properly, you will know how much I love you. So in his head, he thought, probably I'm going to make love to you properly. Yeah. But Lily's experience this is rape.
Yeah.
You know, because it's coming with force. I don't even understand what you're doing, what is going on. You get? That's why I think he was obsessed. For him to see rape like making love. Yeah. That's like an obsessed fan. A point to prove his love. That's an obsessed person with you.
And then now for me, I really felt for this girl, because now she had to wait for him to
fall asleep. And she had to sneak out the bed.
Mimi hata nianza nikomeni za tatu kwa window. Kesho tutajua kesho.
Mimi ni nduru.
Because I was
lakini sasa unaweza piga nduru akweke tu ngumi moja na I know.
Ama na uko sekujisikia ujipate
mbinguni na Abraham huko.
How did you go? I was slapped.
I was slapped. This is sad. This is sad.
So, what was I saying? I was like, for me, I really empathized with this girl when it got to that point. Because now, I could see how she would start blaming herself.
Yeah.
She stayed incident 1, incident 2, incident 3. It is inevitable that you will have a conversation with yourself and be like, I am the problem.
Yeah.
Because why did I allow this man to stoop me this low? You know, and it came with the conversation of stand for me in my head.
Or rather, I am the problem in this sense. Why did I allow Atlas to come between us? Mbona singetupa tu hizo vitu. So I am the problem in that sense pia. I think at some point pia alijiview hivyo.
And for me now it came with the conversation of love and standards. Like how sometimes you can be so in love, you end up having no standards at all.
You think she did, but I think Riley was such a good actor. Because that I said to Kisoma, we knew he's the perfect guy.
I don't think he's an actor.
You couldn't see those. But you know, when someone has a problem, you get to see nice red flags. They know how to hide things and all.
Because for me, I don't think he was acting, honestly. I feel like genuinely this person
has a problem.
Love. It is just he had a problem and he refused to deal with it. It's like now when you were in our previous video when you were talking about the isolation thing and I was saying I used to isolate. Can you imagine if I was in a relationship with someone and I just go, I switch off my phone and I go. I am not a bad human. It's just that this is how I'm accustomed to dealing with things. You understand? Until I deal with that issue, you know, is when, or rather it is until I deal with, or rather I come to terms and be like, well, I have an isolation problem, and these are the steps that I'm taking to deal with this situation, and then I heal and become a better, as in I'm taking active steps. But you won't see isolation at enough from how I laugh or from how I carry myself. It is up until I am completely stressed, then I isolate. Like I never saw this coming because Sioka is not like this. Or rather what I have seen, she is not like this. Inangojanga ni opportunity, babe. Opportunity. If the opportunity is conducive, this person will behave exactly the way amezoea behave. So for me, I feel like this guy really loved this girl. It's just that he had a messed up head that he needed to fix. And that is my problem. Why didn't you fix this thing? Because I'm sure this is not the first time you have done this. So, for me, I think if they sat in a therapy, whatever, when I was their therapist, I would tell this girl, this man was not, does not have enough self-respect for himself to deal with his issues. So there is no need for you to be in a relationship with someone who cannot even respect himself like that. You think wewe ndio respect? Wewe si wao. Tashanga.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So for me, if I was sitting, he's a grown man. My goodness.
Yeah, and with that said, there's no excuse for hitting a woman. Hata kama amekufanya nini juu, tuangalie hata physically. Huko nguvu yako na nguvu yake. Hata amekufanya nini ukimchapa kofi moja si amekufa.
I know.
You'd rather just go, come back later, talk. Go or look for your fellow man. Umchape bila sababu. Go outside a shop or a pub. Just grab anyone. Na umchape.
Yeah.
Fellow man.
When I was talking about love and standards, I was like, sometimes you love someone to a fault. That you don't see that these things are changing you. Like for example, now that woman, the mother, yeah? When the first time it happens, you shrug it. And I'm sure probably the father said sorry the first time he did it. Of course. Definitely. And I think that sometimes this person sees that you are entertaining them.
They stop saying sorry.
They
now.
stop saying
sorry.
They do it. You understand what I'm saying? No, I was like, no, this book really started me on a conversation in my head of love and standards. Like where do like how do you see how they say kitu ya ukipendanga mtu utalilia chooni. Tutapigia nduru kwenyu. And my point is this, how do you find this equilibrium of where, yes, I love this person, I'm in a relationship with this person and I really love him, but I am not, it is
willing
not at the expense of my standards.
Yeah.
You understand? It is not at the expense of my standards, because sometimes women, we can take and take and take and take. And I think even, I don't want to just say us women, I think it's the same for guys also. You can tolerate a babe and tolerate and tolerate and tolerate. No umevumilia alafu kumwisho nakwambia na si ni must. Mimi nilikwambia ukae, sikukwambia ukae.
I think it's a matter of unajibebaje.
Really, you think so?
I think so. In this sense, if I have worked on myself, again, working on yourself is not a one-time thing. If I have worked on myself to the point of I am sure who I am, what I stand for, what I can take in, what I cannot take in. If it happens after your day one, I keep distance immediately. You get?
Maybe it's not as straightforward.
It's not as, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
I know. But again, I watch Ianla a lot. And when she's handling such cases, when she's alone with the woman in such cases, she puts the woman in front of a mirror and she asks the woman, describe the person you're seeing there. You get? Now, what will be the ideal woman? Apart from your husband and what would be the ideal woman you'd want to see in that reflection? And the person would say, and then she asks, that ideal woman you want to see in that reflection, do you think she would allow this to happen? And the woman would be like, no, of course no. So it's always a process of, if you work on yourself towards that woman you want to see, then there's no way you will sit in that. Or rather, you will sit in that for as long as
it's true.
So again, back to work on yourself to bado. Who is that ideal woman you want to see at the end of the day? When you focus on that ideal woman you want to see and you start step by step walking towards her, after you don't need to struggle to shed off some of these things. Siku moja tu utamka na uko like, no. And you will walk out of it. For me,
I think now we are talking about our key takeaways and things that we are picking out of this, that we can do better even for ourselves. For me, number one, I saw the importance of community. I think in every book review, I keep mentioning community. But if this girl had a best friend outside of her sister, or the sister of the guy, or a community for herself, that they have built a relationship where it is honest and open and they're accountable for each other. Naenda amesema hiyo mara moja amechapa.
Ingekuwa ni hivyo.
You understand? Your friends would be in your ear, bro.
But you know, sometimes friends can also be in your ear, but tu mtu akina kai peke yake bado atasema, but unajua ilikuwa hivi, then akai.
But I think this babe lacked that voice.
Okay.
She lacked
because she's someone who's really worked on herself. Yes, I was also surprised as to why she was having these thoughts in her head.
I was like, you know, babe, this thing was a bit scary for me, because I'm like, her past was now playing right in front of her eyes. And I was like, yeah.
And then she akapata mtoto wa huyu mtu.
You understand? When you want to leave, you're pregnant.
When you're ready to leave, you're pregnant.
Shetani alisema nipeni huyu niwaonyeshe. Niwaonyeshe nitamwamba sura. But anyway, like it gets really thick. And for me, I feel like if she had community, if she had people in her ear telling her, you deserve better. You deserve, and I know there are cases where friends' voices don't work, but I feel like strongly in my heart,
eventually
she would have sat and be like, number one, these are not people that hate me or that I don't know. These are people that I love, and these are people that love me, and these are people who really want the best for me. So if they're saying that I need to get myself out of this situation, I really need to do. Because and then the conversation would be, your mother went through this. Why are you allowing yourself to go through this? And I feel like if somebody had highlighted that factor, it would have woken her up quickly. Because I feel like that rape situation and the fact that her mom went through rape is what woke her up. You get, and I feel like it still has been stretching yote. If somebody would have been, you're walking in the same shoes your mother was walking.
The same shoes you hated your mother for walking in.
Your mother.
If
somebody had said that, I think she would have called her, and I think she's a strong-willed person, and she had really worked on herself. I think if that was brought to her attention, she probably, chances are high, she would have left, and things would have not escalated the way they would have. So for me, community stood out, accountability stood out, having friends that you can tell, well, my man is like this and like this.
Because she kept calling the sister-in-law her best friend, but I kept thinking throughout Nikisoma, I kept thinking, is she really her best friend?
I didn't think so. I think she was just her only friend.
Yeah, she was just her only friend. Oh, poor Lily.
I think it was just she's our only friend, because you know there's a line you draw at it. Yeah. Because this person, their sister and brother, it can never die. And you're the other party who's coming to join into the family. So really, hata kama atakutetea, there's a whatever to it.
Oh, I think kulikuwa na red flag ya Ryle. You remember before they even started dating officially, before they even started the trials, first of all, how do you start a relationship with a trial? That didn't make sense to me. And you're doing everything there is to be done in a relationship, and you're calling it a trial. So I think that was a red flag we missed. And also when alikuwa amejam even before the trial, the way he was acting in that period, I felt like he was acting like a baby boy, like a child.
How?
Kuna akimwambia, the way Lily was like, I'm fed up about how you come tell me how I am not giving you peace. You know, every time
back and forth was
so stupid. And then when confronted, he gets angry.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, and then now after he gets angry, he now comes and mbeba kwa shoulder, and kiss, like the world is ending. Alafu anamwambia, let's now do a trial.
Yeah, I hear
I wish I was Lily's friend at that time. I could have told her, don't do it.
You see, now what I'm talking about, accountability and community, there was nothing to that. So even in that phase, this babe, as much as she had worked on herself, these are things she was allowed. Now this is where the conversion of love and standards comes in. Because normally she would not have let anyone just do that to her. But then now, this time, she wants a relationship. But because you don't want it, let's do the trial then. You understand? This is not something that she wants to do. Because she wants a relationship, she likes you and she's in love with you. But because you have said you want this trial, then I will do this trial. You understand? Because imagine sasa umeenda kwa meeting na mamake. Mamake anauliza wewe ni nini, hata yeye ajui, anasema.
Hata ajui wewe ni nani, ajui introduce aje.
You're my friend, you're my acquaintance.
Yeah.
You get. And I feel like that was very unfair. She allowed that is where she started allowing things to happen to her. Na hiyo nikajiambia hiyo. You really need to be like you know is it even to know your self-will is
and continually working on yourself too. Hakuna venye you'll work on yourself, ufike useme sasa, I've worked on myself enough. That is it, continually.
Because you know, it's a battle between, because when I was listening to a certain preacher say that, and I think this is something that we know, is that human beings have a need to be loved beyond God. You know, the need to whatever us having these connections, because if God was enough, you would not even be, people would not be bothered by friendship. Like there's the need, or I'm not saying God is not enough, there's a place of community. Me and you. You know, kila mtu angekuwa amejengewa haki yake. Wewe enda hii mass, enda huko. You understand? And human beings have that need to be loved, and that form of intimacy of a relationship, like in that male and woman dynamics. And I feel like now we battle with, this person is offering to love me, but he's not offering to love me the way I want to be loved. So let me settle on how he will offer. See, it's still love.
I also think the way Ryle being so hot as he was also a weakness to Lily. Yes. Because she couldn't contain herself whenever he was around. Oh God, I breathe. So I guess that was also a factor. So please go get the book. It's a fun read.
Very fun read.
Learn. If kama heartbreakiwa, you're in a relationship, unafeel pia ujui mali imeenda, just get into this girl's mind. You might pick a thing or two. Sawa.
And for someone who has probably what's it called?
Witnessed parents.
And if you've not had it personally, I think if you've had it personally, I think you're going to find solace in this book as to how she takes control of her life. And number two, if you have witnessed people in your environment go through it, I think this book is also good for you to to see and to hear the heart of someone who is in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Because I think the testimony of many is that I have seen ex being beaten. How can she let that husband?
Yeah, how can she let? Yeah.
Kwanza nyingine hapo sijui nani alichapwa na the guy was shot. Akasema mtu mfupi hivyo anachapa msichana.
Yeah, and like Lily says in the book, the story inakwanga in an abusive relationship, the question we ask is, why does that woman allow that to happen to her? Why is she staying there? But no one asks, why is this man beating this woman?
You know.
Why is he doing what he's doing?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think when you read this book and you get to hear and see the heart and the mind of people who are going through abuse, it changes the way you think. It changes even the way you pray. Like for me now, I'm just like, God, see my life. See my life, have mercy on my life. Yeah, have mercy. You understand? Yeah. Like your prayers starts to be different, and you understand you need to, the things about yourself you need to check and heal, address, and then there are things that are beyond you now that now you take to God. You know, the Bible says, this is, I think I was telling Tata this story, this book, because I was just like, Tata,
you need to hear this.
Niku hot. And Tata was telling me a verse in the Bible that has stuck with me. I remember I had to look for it. And it says that the Lord will protect us from violent men and bloodthirsty men. I was like, God, you understand? I felt like that. You see how or rather, I don't know, like for me, I've been in a space of discovering the importance of praying with scripture. And when I find a scripture that speaks to where I'm at, it's like I hold on it like dear life. Yeah, my sister, you're speaking my language. Right? Let me tell you, I have been in a period where anytime I go to just pray to God like this, literally my father, he asks me, what's the scripture you're standing on? Like that coming from God challenges you. Lazima utasoma Biblia, let me tell you. Yeah. And so when I find verses that speak to exactly, because sometimes you find in prayer you find that you don't know what to say. Like you don't know one's wapi. How do you even tell? It's not how do I tell God this? It's honestly God, I don't have the words for it. Sasa tukae tunyamazane tuangaliane kwa hii situation because I don't know how to put words on the things that my heart is going through or my mind is going through or I'm going through. So when I find verses that speak, you run God, with it. This is what you said. I stick until I find a release in my heart and in my spirit that God is good and that will not happen to me. You understand? So when Tata said that verse, I was like, say less. This is it. Let's meet each other in prayer. Yeah. So people, with that said, go get the book. And please, when you buy these books and you read them, please take a picture and tag us. Yeah, tag Truthcast. Tunawapea ma-plugs up and you can't even imagine. Come on. Take a picture, tag us. Post now, tag. That is witchcraft behavior. Yeah. This was TBR. Truthcast book review. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you did. I really did enjoy myself reading this book. Na kuchambua ilikuwa inafilika gist. I really enjoyed having this conversation what matters this book. And for those guys who have read it, please kuja utuambie kwa DM. Yes. What was your ama hata hapa kwa comment section. You understand? Tukana discussion. Ama mimi nimeona vitu niko sio kama wewe umeona vitu deep. Labda you support Ryan. Ryan should have even hit Lily even the more. Music kuja kwa inbox yangu. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We enjoyed doing it with you. For those who have read this book already, please comment down below. What was your takeaways? What do you think you would have done better? Or what do you think would have helped in these situations? For those who have not read the book, I hope sana. Go and take the book and read it. It's going to help you understand and see the heart of people who have lived and who have gone through abuse. Yes, and with that, make sure you subscribe, share, like. Bye.